Hey guys, been working on the van and I hit a major roadblock trying to get these vent tubes in. So let me show you this. This is a piece of the 2-inch hose that I bought, and it has like a tough outer plastic rubber thing with some like fibers in it to kind of hold it together and give it strength. This is central vacuum hose. And then inside it has a coiled wire that gives it some rigidity to keep it from collapsing when it's under suction. So this is what I bought to work my battery vent box, and I've been stewing on this for a couple days trying to figure out how to connect this hose to my vents on the inside of the van wall. And everything I've tried so far has not worked. I tried a clamp, I tried silicone it, I tried a different type of hose clamp, I tried some zip ties, and it's been real tough. I can't figure it out. But I finally came up with this idea to take a piece of this. This is that underlayment 1/4 inch thick stuff, and this hose, if you look at that wire coil that runs through there, it's basically like threads on a screw. So what I did is I cut a hole in this piece of laminate, and it took some time to cut that hole at the perfect diameter so this would just barely fit in there. And then in order for me to move it through the hole, I have to twist it, basically screw it through so that it'll hold this hose and give it support, and I cannot pull it out and I can't push it in. So then what I'm going to end up doing is, on the end that goes onto that piece that comes through the van wall, I cut some slits in it so that when I push it up against the wall of the van, it expands like this. And I'm going to screw it through this piece of wood until it has enough pressure up against the van wall to spread those flanges out like this. And of course the vent will be going right here, and it has about a 1/2 inch lip, or a piece of the vent that sticks through the van that will go inside here. And I'm going to screw this in place with a bead of silicone all the way around that edge to kind of hold it once it's in there, and to seal it as well for airtight and watertight. And I'll screw this into that board until it's uptight and I see silicone squeezing all around it and it's up against the wall. Now this piece, I cut it, so let me see if I can move this camera in here inside and show you. I cut it so that it will fit. Yeah, my tripod's in the way. Hold on a second. Bear with me. Sorry about all the shaking around of the camera. Alright, there we go. So, where was I? So I cut it so it will fit over this hole. And I'm going to screw this up to the side of the van with 4 screws, going through this piece of wood and then through the sheet metal in the van. And that's going to hold those 2 tubes in place. I've got one up top and one below. I'm going to make 2 of these, and then silicone that hole, screw this tube into it, and then screw this to the side of the van, and that's going to keep pressure on that hole and keep that sealed up. So when I'm working these vacuum tubes through the insulation and the paneling I'm putting over here on this wall, I never have to worry about that hose or that tube coming loose from that. There's what it looks like, coming loose from the connection through the wall. and it's going to keep it from moving and just keep it in place. So it took me a day and a half to come up with that idea, and that's what I'm working on right now. So I'll cut this off here and then come back after I get one or two of these in place and give you a better look at what's going on. See you in a bit. All right, hey, I'm back real quick. I just remembered I have this vent that I didn't install in anything. It's just a spare vent that I have. I was going to show you how this is going to fit in and this comes through the wall of the van, and then the hose is going to fit over the top of it like this. So then it vents outside, and this will be sealed with silicone. Actually, it's going to look like this side, where it's going to push the outer edges out around and siliconed up against the van wall. Like that. So that's the solution, I think, to this problem, and it's taken me a long time to come up with that and figure it out, but I think it's going to work. I like this idea where it's going to hold that tube in there, keep it from sliding out, and then once I get it in there, I can turn this and put pressure up against that connection, and then that silicone will set up and it'll be good to go. Then I can do whatever I want with this inside piece, maneuver it and turn it and bend it into the battery box without affecting this joint that I have here. All right, talk to you after a bit. All right, guys, there we go. I got both braces in there for both the exhaust tube and the inlet tube. Got them all screwed up. That's funny. All messed up. I got them all fastened up to the wall, and they're secure. And then just for safe measure, I went around the joint on the tube with I just had some what is that, liquid nails laying around. If for nothing else, when that sets up, it'll help keep the tube from twisting as I'm hooking up the other ends when I get to that point. So next I'm going to put up the piece of insulation that I've already got cut to fit this wall, and then get that inner panel up there and screwed down. And that's probably about where I'm going to finish up the day. I'll come back and give you a short view of that when I get done. I probably will not finish the window sill and get that board cut and painted and screwed on, but I sure spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to work these tubes, and it's finally come out and come out to where it's going to make it worth the time and effort to kind of hold off. I actually was brainstorming this and couldn't come up with the plan, and finally it hit me, but it took me a day and a half to come up with this idea. So anyway, there we go, guys. Talk to you after a bit with some results and a wrap up for the day. All right, guys, back with you. I got this wall panel up. There's what she looks like. Upper vent, lower vent, coming through the wall, all connected to the outside. Got the panel all screwed down. I may throw a couple more screws in here and there, but for the most part, that's it. And then I'm going to have to put my 1/2 inch plate up on top like I did on the other side, get it painted and screwed down. And then kind of a transition to another phase. I'll be starting to work on that bed. Got the bed frame kind of roughed out. Get that painted up and put in here. I decided to go ahead and paint it, or at least parts of it, and get that mounted in here, and then build the battery box right in this area and get these vents connected up so I can start getting the batteries in here and electrics, the basic wiring done anyway. That's what she looks like so far. I'm pretty happy with it. It came out pretty decent. I know I always say that, but I am totally happy with it. It was a big chore putting those vents in, and there was definitely a few moments there where I was second guessing what I decided to do, and I thought maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have just went with the AGMs. But now that the venting is in, once I get the box built, the beauty of that is I can always run lead acid batteries without any problems, and they're a lot cheaper. A lead acid battery also has a higher voltage, charges that up to a higher voltage, which equals more amps and watts. So that's ultimately what I would like to have, is the lead acid, and I got the hard part done to make that happen. Of course, the box isn't going to be easy, but I think it'll be easier than it was getting those vents put in there. Let's go look at the outside here real quick. So there's the vents, what they look like. I actually bought some new spray paint that actually matches the van color a little bit closer, so made another project for myself. I'm going to be taping those off, sand them down a little bit, and put on the I actually bought a lighter gray metallic paint. I think it'll match a little bit better than that particular paint there does. But either way, I mean, they're not that easy to see. Just a couple of little round holes. You're like, what the heck is that? Almost unnoticeable from the back anyway, because they're pretty flush. But I'm tired. It's a lot of work. It's finally coming along, though. It's always a good feeling to kind of finish up one project and then transition to the new step. This wall, the foam insulation, and that white wall panel, heck, that thing's been sitting in the way in my garage for a couple of weeks now. It's nice to have it out of the garage and actually installed in the van, so I don't have to work around it when I'm trying to do other things in the garage. That's what my jack area looks like, and the foam is cut the same as that wooden paneling behind. So of course right there where the jack is not insulated, but it is behind there. This will all be more or less sealed off from the rest of the van. So all right, guys, here we go again. Tomorrow, Monday morning, back to work. I get to work for somebody else instead of myself. At least they pay me, so I guess I can't complain. You guys all have a good one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and have a good week. We'll talk to you later.